Ready? Are we ready? I have no
Ready.
idea.
Yeah.
How does it even look if I look at the small? Yeah? Does
Yeah.
it look like that?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Or is it okay, we do this again. We have outtakes. We have
Okay. And also, I'm a Flutter Google developer expert.
Yes, you're gonna
I
mention
have
this.
to
Okay, we start again. 3, 2, 1. Hey, and welcome to the first episode of the Flutter School. And I'm so excited that this is actually happening. Because we started out as a local meetup, and now we are releasing our first video.
Yeah. And let's introduce ourselves. I'm Pascal Welch, and I'm a Flutter Google developer expert. I'm actually doing Android most of the time, but for this year, still.
But this will change probably.
Yeah, this will change.
over the year.
I'm committed to do full-time Flutter development, and so is Frederick.
Yeah, definitely. So, hi, nice to meet you. My name is Frederick Schreiger. I have been a mobile developer since 6+ years now, but for Android only. And discovered Flutter around 1 year ago, and then thought, I have to do something with that. And since 3 months, I'm full-time Flutter freelancer. So,
great.
Yeah.
Okay,
so,
what's the plan for today?
Yeah, actually, we didn't have a real plan when we started today. Actually, I just called Pascal and we were like, oh yeah, let's do this thing once because we already have our YouTube channel with 100 subscribers on there. So we can actually celebrate this to the 100 subscribers. Yay, thank you so much for believing in us without any video content on our channel right now. So we basically just met, and now we thought of building something.
Building something great, especially for the community. We thought about an app for the community, for the Flutter community, and our vision is to bring developers and designers and whoever is interested in Flutter developers and designers together. And let's do this
and
a Flutter app.
Yeah, definitely with the Flutter app. And we also thought that the next Hello World clone or this default app, the counter thing, would be a bit boring. But we also want to start at zero. So even if you're not experienced with Flutter at all, this is for you. And we are trying to release every week a new video, right? Every week, hopefully. We try our best. And so we are the Flutter School, and we were thinking about a theme, as Pascal already mentioned, to bring together the people even closer in the community, and maybe even fixing the problem that we see right now, there's the demand of Flutter developers, engineers, and also designers, and maybe bring them together, maybe even with founders included and stuff like that. So we were thinking, okay, let's build a social network, right?
Yeah.
So we are going to build a social network, a complete app which will run on Android and iOS, and we will do everything. Everything will be recorded from zero to hero. Everything you can just follow and basically copy the whole concept, create your own social network. I wanted to say virtual network, whatever. And so the idea is that we just get started and we try to evolve the idea. We also try to
nothing is fixed right now. I think the only thing that is fixed is that we have to create a login somehow.
Yeah.
Because we want you in our app. Yeah,
definitely. So we want that users are able to sign up, right? So
sign up.
This is
part of it.
This is actually what this episode is about. So today we're going to start with a sign in, at least with the UI part.
Yeah.
And maybe in the following episodes we'll also have a friend joining. He's a designer, so you can even see how the design is going to be designed or is evolving and stuff. So but today let's just start with our new project. And what kind of name should we actually name it? But let's just start.
We are a school, so
we thought about different names. Yeah, we were also thinking about calling it university or I don't know, alumni club, but that sounded really cheesy.
Yeah, maybe I don't know.
Yeah,
let's first bring up the wizard to create a new project.
Definitely.
And
Okay, so right now we actually I just switched to my screen now, and you can see that we have the emulator up and running, which is a completely fresh install of the emulator. And I'm going to launch Android Studio right now, and then bring up the wizard. So we just assume that you already have installed and set up Flutter. If you don't have it yet, just head over to flutter.dev. I think there's a pretty good
the code lab.
Getting started.
Check out the first code lab, and there's a pretty good tutorial for all platforms, whatever you're developing on.
Yeah, and also the command line tool that guides you pretty well, like the Flutter Doctor.
Yeah, run Flutter Doctor and it tells you everything.
And you will be okay. So we have the Android Studio wizard open.
We want to create a new Flutter project.
So let's start a new Flutter project. I'm so excited. So what are we going to select? Yeah, we're going for the Flutter application for now. Definitely.
That's fine.
Just go hit the next step. What kind of name are we using? I think.
Let's use campus. Let's create a campus.
Campus
for
sounds
our
actually
students.
Good. Like then we have campus app, whatever. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So
maybe the Flutter SDK path.
Yeah, the Flutter SDK path is already there. I will put the project in my GitHub folder. I just name it like that. You can put it wherever you want to, and our description.
Campus for the Flutter community.
Yeah. Okay. I was more
actually
like
this is nowhere published, so.
Not yet. Come on. Like this is going to be the next $1 billion app.
But this text will never be visible at any point.
Yeah. Okay. Then it's for me. Then I will go the Disney approach, and I just call it a whole new world for Flutter developers.
Great.
Developers. This is it. I just go next. Okay. Here. You see the package name, and you usually just enter your company domain, and package names are basically the domain in reverse. Yeah. So you can see if we type another domain here, like example.com, you can see that the package name actually changes to com.example.campus, and this is more like a, how do you say it, like a guide, not a guideline. It just evolved like that. It's like an identifier for your app later in the stores. And on iOS, it's called the bundle ID, and on Android, it's the package ID.
Application ID.
Application ID. And so just name it as you want.
Yeah, we have the domain flutter.school.
Yeah, so let's go with that. It's already in there, and we just call it, the app name is campus, so it's school.flutter.campus.
Yeah.
We don't want to generate the sample stuff yet, right?
Yeah. And then there is the platform channel language. We are going to pick Kotlin and Swift because those are nicer languages. And maybe we plan to do some platform channel implementation in the future, and then it's simple to use.
We definitely do.
We definitely do. Okay. Then we will use Kotlin and Swift. And you could also go with the default, which is Java and Objective-C. This creates a much smaller application, but it's easier for us.
Yeah, and since we're not writing a plugin or something, it's not a big problem. And default is also boring. This is not your default boring show. Haha. Sorry, guys. And so let's just get started and hit finish. So actually now it is creating our Flutter project, running some crazy stuff in the background.
I think it takes that long because it's already downloading the packages.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Okay. And here we are in the beautiful ID, and I can actually just close.
Yeah, and it already created a sample project. I think everyone is familiar with it. It's the.
Let me just make this a bit like to the side so we can. Oh, it fits well with the lines.
Let's run it and.
Okay, let's see if that works. Amazing. So basically, we're just running. We clicked this button here to basically run this app on our already selected emulator. And now, the code is compiling and is then pushed to our emulator. And let's see if that works. I hope it should, right?
Yeah, it takes some time. This is what's normal for Android developers. But once it's running, we will be able to use hot reload to get our changes in a split second to the emulator.
I love hot reload. One of the best features of Flutter. It's crazy how fast you can actually.
And we will use it
develop.
throughout this session. Should we call it lesson today?
Lesson. We call it
school.
lesson. Yeah, but we are not your normal school. So don't get us wrong.
We are the better school.
We're the baddest school. The baddest Flutter school. Yeah, and yeah. So actually,
something went wrong.
Something went wrong.
I've never seen that the example isn't running.
Me neither. Wow. Okay. So
could it be that you're on the wrong channel?
I'm on master, yes.
That could be a problem.
Yeah, so let's
switch to a more stable channel.
Okay, you didn't have seen anything that happened right here, so I just go in my terminal and I run flutter channel. Which one? Dev. Dev sounds good. Yeah, I wanted to be on the bleeding edge, but yeah. Yeah, let's just update our Flutter installation.
Yeah. Perfect, yeah.
Yeah, it should download now the dev version. In the meantime,
stop the application again, and
we just
takes
wait.
a second.
Yeah, just waited. But in the meantime, we just can walk you through the default project structure we have here. So basically, this is the root of our project here. You can see two folders in here, like the Android and the iOS folder. And yeah, the Android folder contains the whole like Android project, which is needed to basically build like a wrapper application. Embedder. They call it embedder. And so yeah, if you're an Android developer, you're quite familiar with the structure in here. So we don't like do a deep dive into this yet. Just keep in mind that this is basically containing all the files needed to run and build the Android application. Down below we have iOS, which is the same thing for iOS. It's like an Xcode project you can just open. And down below we have the lib folder, and the lib folder just contains one file, the main.dart, which contains our example here. And this single file only, which is then basically executes this main function and then runs our app. But more to this part. Yeah, more on that later.
Yeah. How's the download going?
The download.
Still downloading. Okay.
It's still downloading. Yeah. Look at this.
And then we have the test folder.
The test folder.
Yeah. Currently, there is one single test, which is a widget test. This means this is actually testing how the UI elements on the screen are positioned and displayed. And if you're familiar with iOS and Android, UI testing is pretty hard. But that's not true for Flutter. Flutter UI testing is pretty cool. It runs in a headless mode, so you don't need an emulator, you don't need a simulator. It just runs on the Dart VM, and it works.
And if you just understood half of all what Pascal just said, don't worry, because we also will get to this topic later on.
We will have a lesson on testing, UI testing, unit testing.
Definitely. So please, if you don't understand some things yet, don't be scared. We will try to basically address all those kind of things also later on.
Today's session will be rather simple. We want to build two screens. One screen with a login button. We will use the Google login at a later stage, so we will not build a password and username.
Maybe we will also add this later.
Maybe in the future, but
there was also this tweet like recently, or something I saw on Twitter. There was actually a survey, and that was saying that a social sign-in is still like the preferred method of people signing in, and then I guess followed by I think it was phone authentication, because it was that simple, and then there was on the third spot was the email password sign-in. But before we continue talking about that,
the second screen is basically we are signed in, and show the username of the signed-in user.
Yeah, definitely. And I just want to continue on the project files, because before we miss that out, let me just finish those files that you can find in the root project. So we have a basic git ignore file. So if you do version control, if you don't understand what's that yet, don't worry, we will also get you covered. We have a metadata package just for our
this is auto-generated.
IDE basically. So also don't care about those. The more interesting one is the pubspec.yaml. And this is basically where you declare yeah, all the dependencies for your app. As you can see, the Dart environment, the SDK in which it will run, the version number, stuff
for
like
our
that.
application.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely. This is for our application, the version here. The environment is just like which Dart SDK we're going to use. So yeah. And down here you can see dependencies. Right now, yeah, we depend on Flutter. Who guessed that? So since we're building a Flutter app, and yeah, down here you can see basically Cupertino icons.
Do we need Cupertino icons?
I don't think we need Cupertino icons.
We can delete them.
So we can just remove them. But yes, but I think we also cover this when we actually need dependencies. So yeah, we'll get back to this later. We just use this time very well. Where we
important at the
it.
bottom is that you can also include assets here.
Yeah, definitely.
Assets like images or fonts. Yeah.
But we also get back to this later. We just try to use the time as best as possible while we were having issues. So actually now
It finished downloading?
Yeah, let me check.
Maybe you have to reload the project.
So I just quit and open the project again.
Should work. Yes.
There we go. So.
Oh yes, it works.
And maybe just run Flutter packages
yes,
get.
You modified something.
We modified the
Cupertino icons.
Yes, true. I remember. So yeah, and now we had run. And hopefully this will work now. Otherwise, this would be a very bad first lesson. But yeah, let's see. So it is assembling our debug version. And within a few seconds, we should have the running app on our beautiful emulator on the right. Give it a few seconds. And it's installing. Here we go. We have been there once. And come on, please. Don't let us hanging here.
Is dev broken as well?
I think yes. I think it's. What is happening here?
I have no idea.
We could just start from the beginning here. Like
let's
literally,
switch to
right? I don't know what's happening
a different
here.
channel and try it again.
Better. let's switch to beta. Why are we always like trying to work on the bleeding edge of things? I don't know.
Why not stable?
We go for stable.
If stable doesn't work, nothing works.
Oh yeah, I have to run upgrade again. We just let this run through maybe, and then we're back if everything should be finished. Yeah, so we are back, and now
has finished.
We close our IDE again. Oh, I love development. I just love it. It's like so seamless. But yeah, that's why we're here. Good. So we basically reopened our IDE, and we just give it a shot and click.
The Android project again.
Yeah. Maybe I should also have cleaned the project before, but no. Should actually do it.
Let's try it.
So Gradle running is running again, and we assemble the debug version. Let's see. I just promised a whole new world, and it's not working.
Way!
It is there. I can't believe it. So actually, there are a few things right now not really 100% fine on master and develop.
Yeah.
So,
but that's the reason why you should use stable unless you require any features which are currently not in stable but in beta, develop, or master.
And this is also why we didn't include the setup process, because if you did it with us, you probably did it wrong. You should be on stable. You shouldn't have all the problems for you. It should just work.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's just continue with that. So what do we have right here? We have this, our demo app basically. And should we just go through it or just remove everything?
Click the button and...
Okay, we click the button and you see that it works. So just
I bet you have seen it like 100 times already. So let's delete the whole thing.
We just delete everything. Just delete everything here.
Except for the main method.
Except for the main method. Yeah, we keep the main method here. I mean, why not, right? So, actually, we basically have now our super empty Flutter project. And I think we're good to go to write some code here.
Yeah.
So
let's create our first screen, which is the login screen.
Let's create the screen.
Actually, it's not called screen. It's called page.
Page, yeah. So actually, the wording within Flutter is a bit different compared to other mobile frameworks like to iOS or Android.
Other UI frameworks in general.
So like a screen is called page, or there are other things, right? But we would recommend you just like try to adopt this new naming system, because then there are also other widgets or classes you may use.
Yeah, and they follow the same pattern. So
exactly. So
stick to it and you're fine.
So it's easier. So the thing, I'm going to create a stateless widget here.
Yes.
And I just call it, like campus app.
Campus app, yep.
Yeah, let's call it campus app. Amazing. So, and then we replace this here, campus app.
Can you hot reload it now?
Yeah, I can try it. Just hot reload it. And it fails. Look at this.
It doesn't work.
Why doesn't it work? Pascal, no, you sent me into a trap and I just did it, and we have more errors here.
Because in your main file, you reference before the my app, and we changed the main file, but the main file is only executed once the app starts.
So we actually have to do like a real reload to recall this main function again, and there we are. We have a black screen.
Why do we have a black screen?
Because we have nothing in there, only.
But we have a container.
Yeah, but
I don't see a container.
You don't see a container. Why don't you see a container? Because it's
black.
It's black. Yeah.
Yeah. Can you change the color?
Yeah, definitely. I think one of those attributes of the container should be the color, and let's just set the color to colors.
My favorite color is orange.
Is there orange? There is orange. So let's just hit save and do hot reload, and there we go. We have orange
page.
app.
Right.
I think so. Okay, so what is actually happening right here now? As you've seen, we have this main function, which is called actually by Flutter if we run our app. And in here we have our campus app, which is a stateless widget. And in Flutter, you probably already heard, everything is made out of widgets. And a stateless widget basically just has a build function. And in the build inside the build function, we basically
return other widgets.
Yeah, return the widgets made out of other widgets. It's basically like playing Lego for grown-ups. So and the building blocks, they're just widgets, right?
Yeah. And there we can define our structure of our application in code.
Okay.
So we don't have XML or any UI editor to design our applications. We only have code. And yeah, it's actually pretty verbal, and you will see that it's pretty good to see the structure in the code as well on the screen. Okay, let's add a text.
A text. Okay,
yes.
yeah, definitely. So if I
mean, we want a title. It's called campus app or login page. Call it login.
Login, yeah.
Add a login text.
Okay.
And then we can see how we position it.
Okay, so but before we're going to do this, I know we don't have a design yet, right?
Yes.
But I also wanted to. I actually like material design, and I know because I was studying before we started this lesson. I'm a good student. I know that there's actually a material app widget, so maybe we should use that because. I don't know. Can you tell me more about the material app widget?
But you could maybe add first the text and then...
I will add a text, okay.
Yeah. I just want to see a text.
I will just call a text here. So basically, we have a child method here. Most of the widgets actually have a child
or
parameter or children. Or some have like different named parameters, which then, we come to that later. And the child just says that this is the child of the widget. I just call it like, hey there, let's just make the text. I hot reload this stuff. And boom, we have an error. Look at this.
So is our application now crashed?
Yeah, more or less. Like it says that we require directory widget ancestor. So
whatever that is.
Yeah. So basically, I think we have a problem here.
Let's continue with your material app.
Yes. It's because probably some theming is missing here or some parameters. So as I said, we want to build our app as a material app, and this is why we're going to wrap our container into a new widget, and we call it material app, right? So the material app, why doesn't it have a child? It's like, no, I want to have the container to be the child, but
No child.
But it doesn't have a child parameter. And this is what we just said like 5 minutes ago or something.
There are some special widgets which define different names for their children. And this one is body, or is it?
Or with home, I guess, right?
Home, yes.
So home would be the home widget, like the starting point in our Material app. So if I hit save, it does a hot reload, and boom, there we go, there we go. So now you can see actually that we have a text there, which is in an ugly red color and has some underlines under it. And that means that I think we're missing some styling still, right?
And also we are drawing below the status bar. That's not
fine. Yeah,
it's
also not nice. Okay.
We should fix that.
We should fix that. So at first, I think we can actually, center the text so it looks nicer.
I like it at the top.
You like it? Yeah.
Yeah, but let's fix the styling.
Okay, let's fix the styling for now. So what we're going to do is basically, should we just set a styling here, or
no? Let's wrap it in a scaffold.
Okay.
And
we're going to wrap it again in another widget, and this time it's a scaffold widget, and it also doesn't have a child again.
But this time it's body.
Yeah.
I know it.
Yeah, that is true. So this one, what is a scaffold widget? Like, let's try to explain what we have here. First, I hit hot reload, and as you can see, wow. Our text is super small, and the container is in the top left, only as big as the child, if you can barely see that here. And there's our text, and the background is white.
Okay, so what's the scaffold?
Yeah, the scaffold is actually a widget which is like a blueprint for a Material-styled app. So we can have like different parameters here, like what was it, like a tool, like an app bar?
You have to go down to scaffold.
Wow, sorry, I was up there. Like we can have an app bar here as a widget, right? And then just like create an app bar, which then again has different, as you can see, different parameters, like a leading, title, actions, and those are again they're just taking widgets. So if I just enter a title, which is a widget again, we can also just put in a text. Yeah, and we call it campus, right? As an example.
Or login.
Yeah, okay.
Ooh.
I just called it campus. So, okay. So what happened now? Actually, our scaffold is now magically organizing those widgets into like a standard layout, like as a Material app would have. And maybe it's also nice to tell the people that there are also not only Material app widgets, but also Cupertino app widgets.
Yeah, if you want to have an iOS-styled app, use the Cupertino app widget. Or if you want to go with a complete custom theme, which has nothing to do with Cupertino or Material, go with, what was it called, Widget app?
Yeah, Widget app.
Widget app.
So you can actually also just build your own from the ground up. You have to understand that basically all those widgets, like Material app, they're also just they're providing just more widgets. They're wrapping actually your child into a bigger already pre-created widget tree, which then offers widgets like theming widgets. So we already have a default theming, like this beautiful blue here for the toolbar, right? And
or the text style.
Or the text style, yeah, definitely. And yeah, so they're quite good to have. But you know, at the beginning, I don't think that it's like too interesting. We just want to get like started with our app just for you. Everything here is just a widget again, and it probably just uses like properties or attributes from those widgets to basically create our app.
Can you show more functionalities of the scaffold?
Yeah, definitely. Let me just like format the code like by hitting Option Command L. So yeah, we have like the app bar. We can also check what the scaffold actually offers, right? So we also see that the scaffold just extends stateful widget, and yeah, it takes a key, app bar, a body, a floating action button. Oh, I know that one, and a floating action button location, a floating action button animator, persistent footer.
I think the draw
buttons,
is interesting.
The draw, yeah.
Or the bottom navigation.
Bottom navigation bar, the bottom sheet, or the background color.
Background color.
Is also quite.
Let's change that to a gray.
To gray. No, let's change the background color of our scaffold. Like, let's have a background color here. And let's again use colors, which is just like some predefined material colors. As you can see here with this beautiful different
preview of the colors.
Oh no, I think this is actually like a swatch, but yeah. So we can just like use what did you want? A gray, right?
Gray, yes.
Like a normal like gray. So grayish gray. Let's hit save, and there we have gray.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't like it.
Okay, change it back to white.
No, yeah, I think I just like go with the default one. I think that's just white, something like that. Okay, so basically we have our app bar, our body with a container, which is orange. So, yeah, what else can we have? Like we can have like a floating action button to basically offer some actions in our app.
But what we really want is a login button.
Yeah, the login button. So let's build the login button, right? So here, instead
I wanted to have in the center of the screen.
Advanced stuff, I see.
Yeah.
So
and
yeah,
put a text above it, saying click the button.
Anything else?
That's it. That's all for this screen.
Okay. So basically, in our body, we have our container widget with this beautiful background color, orange.
Yeah, and we can remove the background color.
Yeah. Okay. Let's get rid of the background color. And I don't know if there's actually someone of you coming from the web development side. And if you do web development, the container is pretty similar to a div, right? So you can basically see on a container, you have parameters like an alignment, a padding, a color, a decoration, which is also pretty interesting. We will also probably at some point, we'll dive into that. You have a width, your height, some constraints, a margin, stuff like that. And it's like super, you can basically do everything. It's super powerful.
Yeah.
And again, the container widget just consists out of more widgets which are doing alignment and padding. So you can even use them on your own.
For example, if you only want to have a padding, you could use the padding widget. You don't have to use a container. And it would be even cheaper.
So, like on my container, you said I wanted to have it centered, right?
Yes.
So maybe I just use the alignment here, right? And
try it.
Go for alignment. And I think it has some default values. And there we go, center. And if I hit save now, the text should be in the center.
Wow.
That's it. So we just have our container, we set the alignment to center, and we have the child. So how do we get the button in here? We basically wrap our text within a new widget. So it's within a button, right? So we wrap it with a new widget. And one widget from the material library is called raised button. So this
raised button is actually the button which is raised from the material below it. And it most of the time has the primary color.
Exactly. So I have now the raised button, and I hit save. And here we go. Wow. Oh, that's super ugly.
It's gray.
So why is it gray?
My favorite color.
Yeah, favorite color. Yeah, so yeah, you can go on and explain why it's gray.
The problem why it's gray is because that's the disabled state. So I haven't... actually, the color of a normal raised button is gray in the material design. And the default for a disabled normal gray raised button is gray. Yeah, but we can enable it.
It's a darker gray, right?
Yeah, darker gray, yes. We can enable it by set actually a click action or an on-tap action. And
so we just go for it. It's called on-pressed. So if you don't know, actually, right now we're just using all the stuff that you can set. You know, we just say that, or we just act like if you already know what you should use. But if you don't know what like the raised button offers, you can still like just go and see all the attributes it has. So you have here basically the void callback, which is called onPress. You can see like on value changed, on highlight changed. You can see a text theme. You can set a text color, a disabled text color, or disabled color. This is what we were talking about.
Change the disabled
and even the splash color, because also this button is animated. But yeah, just if you're interested in widgets, but like one thing you should definitely do is like check out what actually you can do with a widget. Sometimes it's even more than you expect. And at later point, you don't even have to implement a feature or something by yourself. Yeah, because the widget is already implementing it. So let's just go back and set our onPressed.
Gets the void callback, which is basically a function without any parameter. And we can use a lambda here.
And yeah, basically this is doing nothing. Or let's just make it print.
Yeah, let's print clicked or tapped.
Tap.
Or pressed. Actually, the function is called onPressed.
Okay, I would just like hit format again, hit save. Oh, and what happened here?
A lighter gray.
Yeah, a lighter gray, so it's enabled. And if I click that button, you see this
you already
awesome
have the ripple effect.
animation, and the elevation is also animated.
Yes.
And if I actually tap it here, you should see in our run that we print tab here to our terminal. That's awesome.
Yeah, now we should add a button, or no, a label on top of the button, which tells us what the button actually does.
Yeah, but I want to add one more thing, which just comes to my mind. So if you're like an experienced Android developer who's just getting into Flutter, or maybe an iOS developer, I can't tell that well because I never did iOS development. But some people were asking me how I actually create a disabled state of a button. So the interesting thing here is if you just don't specify unpressed, then you probably get warnings and errors, which is because a button which can't be pressed is useless. But if you just like type in like null or just give null as an argument and hit save, you basically get the same thing. It gets disabled. So later in the code, you don't have an attribute which will disable the button, like a Boolean flag, the bool flag. You just like remove the function or set it to null.
Yeah.
So, okay, what are we going to do next?
Add a label on top of the button.
A label on top of the button. Maybe I restore my click functionality again. So, I hit save again. So, our button is there again. So, on top of the button. So, how I'm actually doing this? I think I wrap this in another widget. And actually, Flutter also provides a ton of different widgets for aligning widgets. And one of them...
Basically, it implements the Flexbox model.
Yeah.
So if you're into web development, you're pretty familiar with it. And
on Android, it would be like a linear layout or something.
Yes.
Depending on what you choose. Right now, we're going with a new widget. Actually, it's already in here, right?
Column.
So we have the column here, and that will just place the widgets that you put inside a column, below each other. And if you go with a row, it will place them, beside.
Next to each other.
Next to each other, And there are even more cool things, but one at a time, right?
Okay,
so let's just put in a column, and as you can see, the column takes children as an attribute, which is a list of children, right?
Yeah, and let's add a new text on top of the raise
Let's
button.
just maybe refresh.
Oh, sure.
So
but nothing should
I save again. Oh, and what happened here? Hey, something happened. Something happened.
Seems like it's not really centered anymore.
No, it's not. It's not. So actually, why is it not centering our widgets anymore? Although we just have the raised button inside the column, the reason for that is that the column tries to be as big as possible. And since we don't have anything else on our screen which could occupy space, the column gets like as big as possible as the whole app is, basically as our body, the body of our scaffold is. And
but we can change that.
We can definitely change that. And this, again, an attribute on our column, which is called, I guess, main axis size, right?
Yeah. So basically, a column as well as a row has a main axis and a cross axis. Main axis is the direction which the items are aligned. And we can change the size of the main axis, which is in this case the vertical.
And I hit save. It's there.
Yeah, and now it tries to be as small as possible, and the column now is only as big as the button.
That's awesome.
So now we can add a second item.
Yeah, and the interesting fact about this here, columns and rows, you have a main axis size, which in the case of the column is like the vertical size. In the case of the row, definitely it's the horizontal size. And you also have the cross-axis alignment stuff, right?
Which aligns them.
Exactly. You also have alignment parameters, but we also probably get to this later on. Let's just continue. Okay, so we have our list of widgets here, and you wanted me to add a label, right?
A label,
so let's add another text. Texts are so easy. And what do you actually want? A welcome to the campus?
Log in to the campus.
Welcome is nice.
Welcome to the campus,
Welcome to...
We have a great welcoming culture.
Yeah, actually the Flutter community is very welcoming. So, and we hit save again, and there we go. So we see welcome to the campus and hey there.
Yeah, let's change hey there to log in and fine.
Yeah, log in. Log in like this or
okay, that's fine.
Nice. Okay, save, hot reload, log in, boom. Okay, but now I actually want to have some yeah, let's put some padding between the login and the text. So
Sure.
actually,
What are you using there?
Yeah,
There
I just
are
wanted to say,
multiple
I know.
methods.
I just wanted to say that there are now different ways of actually achieving that. So we could basically just wrap again our raised button with a padding widget. What we already said, like there are multiple widgets. Actually, in Flutter, everything is like every single thing basically you could style is probably already a widget in the framework. You just have to search for it or to know it. And in here, we have a padding, and we just give it 8 pixels. And
in all directions.
In all directions, correct. And we hit save. And now we have 8. It's a bit less. Let's make it 16. Ah, maybe that looks nice.
Okay. What's the alternative?
Yeah, the alternative would be like a smart hack. I don't know. Like if I could just get rid of the padding again. I just remove this widget again. Save, hot reload, boom, it's gone. And since we have our column here, we could also use a sized box, which is also a widget, which just gets as big as we set the height or the width. And in this case, we don't even need a width because, it's basically containing nothing. It's just like a placeholder, like a space for us. I just set the height to, 16 and hit save again. So, wow, we also have the same effect, and that's it. I like it.
Right. I prefer this even more.
Yeah, because it's more readable, right? So you can have your column in here, and then you already know how it's going to look.
The tree doesn't get that deep. I mean, it's deep, but
Yeah, but we can also get rid of this later.
Okay.
Okay, now we have
I think we finished the first screen.
Yeah, it's more or less finished. Yeah.
Okay. Let's continue with the second screen, or should we first extract
all
the widget?
I would say right now we have everything in the build. Basically, not in the build method of in the build method of our app, like campus app thing.
Yeah.
So let's just extract this to a new file. Oh, by the way, our test is now red.
Yeah, we changed the implementation of the counter app, so our
let's just get rid of our test. Oh,
we create them later on.
Yeah, I also like not having tests at all. No,
okay.
Okay. So like we're in our lib folder, basically the folder where all the source files of our beautiful Flutter app go into. And let's create a new file here.
Let's create a new file. Creating files in Flutter is a little bit different compared to Dart, or not Dart, sorry, Java, Kotlin, or Swift, because you create them with a lower snake case file name.
Okay, so is it called lower snake case? I have no idea.
It's called snake case. And basically, we create our login page. So it's called login_page.dart.
Let me just do that here. Just do that quick. Boom, login page.
Yeah, and now we can extract the widgets from our main app.
Okay, let me just copy what we actually have here. We don't want to copy everything because we still have. We can also.
We could extract the scaffold as well.
Yeah, let's extract the scaffold because I was just thinking about that. Okay, so we basically copy everything that we see here right now, but we want to keep our material app as a component. We also get to this later, why we want to have our material app as a root, basically, or like a very high top root.
Basically, we are switching the widgets later underneath the material app.
So let me just copy this over to our login page. And in here, I just create a stateless widget called login page. And as you've seen, let me just do this again. I love this. You have some kind of templates. Yeah,
this works also in Visual Studio Code.
So you basically you can type st-less or st-full or st-animation with an animation controller, like a stateful widget with animation controller, a stateful widget or a stateless widget, and you just hit enter, and boom, the IDE like does everything for you, creates all the boilerplate code, stuff like that.
It saves you a lot of time.
Call it login page. It's called login page. So why is it like red now?
The imports are missing.
Yeah, since actually like stateless widget and everything like that is part of our Flutter framework, and we have our source file here, but we don't have a link to our basically to the SDK yet. We just can hit Option and enter, and actually now you can see that Android Studio is already making some guesses what we may want to import.
I would
And
import widgets because it has the least dependencies.
This is true, but since we're going to create a material-styled app, I would go for material.
But I'm not sure if we are actually using any. We are using
the raised button. The
yes.
raised button. We are using the raised button. So actually, you should always go with that one, which includes like the least amount of widgets, because that's just clearer or a good way of doing it. But let's just like import the material library. So as you can see, everything looks pretty nice now. And in here, I just paste the code that we already had. And now we can just exchange this for semicolon and do a refactor again. It's already pretty. Yeah. And in here, I just go for our login page. So, and this is red again.
This is also missing the import.
Exactly. So what are we doing? I hit Option and Enter. And I import, like you can already see that we have our campus and login page start. Boom. Magic import.
Small tip about imports. We are using the package imports. It's also possible to import Dart files by path. Don't do this.
No.
You will shoot yourself in the foot.
Yeah, it's not good. I did this once, and the evening was a horrible evening.
The days or the weeks can be over.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't do it.
Just don't. Please, no. And okay, and I just hit reload again, and nothing changed.
Great.
Because we just created our login page.
Anything.
Yeah, it's an amazing day, right? Isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. So basically now we have our login screen in here, which consists out of a scaffold, which basically is creating this whole layout for us. And we have a container, which is centered. So basically this part in here is our column with a min size.
You could add a background color so we can see it. Or you can use the inspector.
Also a very good idea, but maybe we save this for later.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we can basically set a color just to show you the size again of our column now. And
everything is red.
Everything is red because
that's why
the
I
container.
wanted you to use the inspector.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I was like, okay, Y is getting as big as possible because our container tries now to be as big as possible since we set the alignment to center and want to center inside the parent widget. So our container tries to be as big as possible to finally center our column inside. Yeah, that's it. So, but if I wanted to set a color to column, it doesn't have color.
You can wrap the column with
another container.
A container.
As an example, yeah. So let's wrap this with a container. So the container only contains our column, and let's set a color to color. Colors. Red, and hit hot reload.
Yeah.
Boom.
And this is actually the size of the container, and
and
of the column. Yeah.
Exactly. And now I get rid of it again because we don't need it, just for fun. Okay, hit save again, and we have our layout back. Awesome. So
let's continue with the next page.
Exactly. So now we have our login page, and we want to be able to press our login button and
then switch the UI.
Make it do something. Yes, that's a good one. Okay, so I create a new page, right?
Yes.
Let's call it home page.
Or call it
homepage.
Homepage. Why not?
Zach, I also had a homepage when back in the 90s. No, not in the 90s. I didn't have no homepage. Forget what I said. So it was a homepage, and I also create a stateless widget, and let's call it homepage. Again, it will not import our stuff automatically. We just import material again because we know we want to theme it materially and we want to use material widgets. Boom, and it works. Now we have the container. Container won't contain anything.
Actually, in the homepage, we want to show the name of the user.
You want to show the name of the user? Yeah. Okay, I just like... okay, we probably line it again in the center.
Yeah.
And actually, I think also there is... if you just use the alignment, right, there's also a widget for that, like for centering it.
There's the center widget.
Exactly. So basically, instead of using the container and using the alignment, you can also just use an even smaller, heavily underrated widget that is just called center and takes a child. And this will just basically center the child. So if you don't need any other functionality of the container, like a color or like a decoration or a fixed width or height, which also is offered by the container, we always try to go as slim as possible, right? With a how do you say it with the yeah,
as lean as possible. Yeah.
This is the good. Yeah, that's right. So okay, we have the center, we have a child here, and you wanted me to
display the text of the logged in user.
And right now I'm just faking it, and I say, hey, Frederick.
Maybe you want to create a property for the user name.
Like in our stateless widget?
Yes.
Okay. So I could here get a, let's say, final.
Let's create a property. Yeah, all properties of a stateless widget have to be final.
Yes.
There's no way around this. Let's call it username.
I like it.
Great.
And now it's here.
Yeah,
Why
you have
is
to
it?
instantiate it
Right.
in the
Okay.
initializer.
That's true.
Or in the constructor.
Okay. So I create a constructor called homepage, right?
You could generate it. You could hit Alt-Enter on the arrow of the property.
That is true. Because also I just wanted to. Okay.
Yeah. Create
Amazing.
a constructor.
And
Boom.
here we go.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to type it again.
It's
So thank you.
auto-generated.
It's like that you're here. It's amazing. Okay, what does this actually do? So as you can see here, we basically have our homepage, and we have an attribute called key, property called key.
Yeah.
But we will also, this will be something for later. This has to do something with the Flutter layout and how it basically detects.
It's basically like the ID of a div.
Yeah, or on Android like a key.
Yeah.
Right.
also called
ID.
there.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I forgot everything about Android. But yeah, and we will just I think
We
explain
don't use
this
it
later.
right now, but it's auto-generated and we take it for free.
Yes, and yeah, so in here
Now you
we
have to
our
show the
username.
in the text field.
Okay, for that I just
Use string interpolation.
this is
Interpolation.
amazing. So
hard word.
actually I could just write a $sign, and I think username, right?
Yeah.
And this works. This works as long as I don't have to access like an attribute of what I am accessing.
Yeah, then you
on
have
the
to use the
string.
curly braces.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
yeah.
Okay, but this should work for now. Oh, I tried hot reload. Yeah, but for sure it's not
We are
displaying.
not using it right now.
Yeah, we're not using the homepage.
Maybe before you replace it and we show it actually, can you wrap it in a scaffold? We already
Yes,
learned
I know,
that's a good idea.
But I just wanted to show again to the people what is happening if we forget this, you know?
Okay.
Okay, so let's just... As you can see, everything here is
Planned.
improvised. It's not, what the hell? It's not planned. Otherwise, we wouldn't have run into the error at the beginning.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, basically we are back to our login page.
No, in main.
In main.
Just
main.
replace the login page with
We just go for the home page.
homepage.
Okay, it's curly, it's red again. We just have to import our homepage. Now you can see those underlines because yeah, we don't use this package anymore right now, but we can still leave it there.
Yeah.
We just hit save again, and wow, what happened here?
The missing scaffold.
And actually, I also didn't set our attribute.
That's interesting that it even works.
Yeah. Because it was also not required and we didn't
Can you go back to the constructor, because I think that's important. We put the this.username, which assigns the value to the property username, into curly braces. So this makes it optional. It's nice to have it optional because you can have named properties there, and it's very good to read this widget if you're using it. But we really, really want this not to be optional.
But we want to have named like parameters.
Yes, we want named parameters, but we don't want to have an optional. And this is not built into the language, but into the toolchain and into our IDEs. So we can use the @required annotation, and this makes this optional property required.
And I try to hit save again.
And actually, it should print an error somewhere.
Yeah,
I think.
Let's go and run. No, it's actually.
No, it's not an error. The error is here.
Oh yeah, here in our.
The other
Oh
file.
no,
in the
it's
main
in
file.
the main. It should be in the main, right?
And on the side,
And
you can
yeah, there you can see. There it is. Sorry.
The
Yeah.
required parameter username is missing.
So I can again has option enter and add required argument. Username is
Dash, our first user.
okay. So it's dash. It's hey dash, but it's still ugly.
Yeah.
But why is it ugly? Pascal already destroyed my little scavenger hunt here for code errors. But yeah, as you already mentioned, we just return a center, and since we just return a center, we don't have our scaffold widget anymore. And the scaffold widget is basically what creates the structure of our app and also gives us some theming for the app. So basically, if I just wrap this again in the scaffold widget, I would say that Scaffold and Material app, that they're kind of like different widgets from all the other ones, because they're mostly used at the root of like a new page or just the app. So yeah, but let's just add them here, like put the scaffold in here, and here it's called body again, because we also have the different, this is also like the named parameter, right? And it's also required, I guess. Is it required?
Actually, I don't think it's required. You can
Probably
get
not.
around it by
nothing is
routes.
required.
No, yeah.
Like, oh, wow, cool. Yeah, hit save again, and now it should look beautiful. So
great.
Actually, what it does, our scaffold, it now also falls back to the default, like as you can see, background color. So it's not black anymore. And now we have our like body, which then inherits also the default like text theming, styling. So this is why we suddenly got this whole different like layout. Style.
I have a small question here.
You have a small question.
The formatting looks odd, at least not what I'm used to.
Okay.
Why is it not broken down as the others?
Okay, this has to be done. Actually, Flutter, the Dart formatter uses, I think, the commas, right, to actually format it. So if I hit format again after the comma, it will format it like correctly, and this like creates a new line break. So you can even leave out commas if you have like a special, if you want to like to format your code in a special way. But yeah, you will get used to it. Just play around with it later if you don't really know what we're talking about. Yeah, just like you will get to it, used to it later. So okay, we can hit save again. It should be the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we have our second page now, and we have our login page. But now I actually want our login page, right, to be shown, like our home page, to be shown from our
beginning,
home page. Yeah. So again, at the home page, we set like the login page again as our home. We hit refresh again. It's our
great
home page again.
So once we click the button, we want to show the logged in page or the home page. So let's go to the button and implement.
Yeah, let's go to our login
the
page.
Lambda.
Okay. So basically we also never wrote like a function, right? Should we just do it here, or just
no?
No, we should not do it. I also know I have like an idea why we shouldn't do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's keep it as simple as possible.
True. You're right. So actually, to use like this onPressed method now, we want to actually show a different screen, right? A different page. Sorry. Pages. Screens are called pages in Flutter. Remember that. And so what we're going to do, we use also a widget of Flutter, like, or is it a widget? It's like
I'm not sure.
It's not a widget. Maybe
we should look it up.
We should look it up. We just use it. It's called the Navigator, and here we just type Navigator, and the Navigator is.
I don't think you can use it like that. Put it inside the Lambda.
No. I can use it like this. Sorry.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like doing it wrong. Sorry. Thank you again. And the Navigator is navigating things. Who would have guessed that?
Basically, this is a component from the Material app or the Widget app, whatever you're using. And it allows us to have a navigator. And the navigator gives us the possibility to push new routes or push new pages.
Yeah.
Any widget you want.
You can basically move, navigate within your app.
Yeah.
And I think Navigator, is part of the Material app, right? Or no, probably also of the Widgets app.
Yes.
Or the root widget, where everything, basically all the logic is happening inside, like in our Material app or in this widget, kind of widget. Because you have to think of Flutter, everything when you start Flutter is just like a black screen, and you render everything like custom on it with widgets. So even we have like basically functionality wrapped in here, which does the navigation for us, because we don't have.
And it does nice transitions and
exactly
stuff like that.
But this is like not a navigation by the system itself, like by Android or iOS. It's just like a fake transition, or It
renders the screen differently depending on how you transition, but it's not like creating or starting a new activity in Android.
So what are we actually doing here? So this is like a different, how do you call it? Like way of writing
a lambda,
a function,
a
exactly.
short version.
So this is basically the same. If we only have one command, we can use this arrow here in order to execute this code here. And in here, we're saying navigator.off context. So what is actually happening right here? So we have this navigator and the .off method.
It's actually a static method.
Yes, which should give us the nearest navigator possible. And since this will actually just walk up the widget tree, and our widget tree is basically what we return in the build method.
So it will first check the raised button. Then
No.
The
Yeah,
column,
yes, the raised button, column.
the column, container, scaffold, yes.
Yeah, and then it will go up again to
Material
Material App. And Material App actually contains our navigator.
Navigator, yes.
Yeah. So in here, we just basically get this navigator. So we could actually have a Material App inside a Material App, Inception.
Absolutely.
I don't know why you would want to do this, but you can. And
there are definitely cases where you want a different navigation pattern inside a small part of your application, and you can do that with
but probably
Flutter.
you can also just provide it with a different
you don't have to
navigator.
use the Material app, but you can use something which creates a navigator.
Okay. And so basically we just get this navigator and then we call push. And push basically, pushes something on top of our existing page here.
So can you show me the parameter? Now I'm interested what it actually pushes.
Yeah.
It pushes a route.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So routes are actually just some kind of, the route is used to transition from one screen to another or to show a new screen. Yeah, so I think the name says it all, right? I don't know.
Yeah, it routes a new screen.
In here, so if we want to basically now have a route to our homepage, logged in state, I wanted to say. We need a route. And for our Material app, it's the MaterialPageRoute. So let's give it a MaterialPageRoute, and
first one is fine, and put in another lambda.
So and I select context, build context, right? It's not, sure,
No,
it's select the lambda, right? Let's think, is it?
I'm not sure. We can look it up.
I think it's not right. It shouldn't be like this. Yeah. Because it gives us the build context, but since it's the lambda thing, it's Okay, so and in here our builder just returns our homepage, right?
So basically we are building now the content the page the route should show.
Import this again.
Yeah, and we can add the homepage, but the homepage has a required parameter.
Yes, it has, and it says again username is required. So I just fake it again, like right, and I say Frederick this time. Why not? So, okay, and I hit save. So
can you format it correctly?
Yeah,
it's really hard.
I just wanted to say that it's possible to write it that way. And so if you add some semicolons and hit like format again, you can, see.
Can you also change the on-pressed lambda to a multi-line?
What? Oh, yeah. I can also just make this.
It also works with Alt-Enter.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Like this?
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. Okay, this looks way nicer. You're right. Okay, so what is happening here? If we now press the button, it should
push a new route.
Wow, and there we go. So
Great.
We're basically on our logged in state. And it says, hey, Frederick. The thing is, if I go back now, if I navigate back, we're again...
We're signed out again?
Yeah, I don't know. It's like... Yeah, basically we just like leave our last screen and have this one again. But why is it that way?
I guess because pushes something on top of the stack.
Navigation stack, exactly. Yeah. So basically you can think of the navigator just like a stack of cards, and the lowest card is right now our sign-in, the sign-in page right now, the home of our Material app.
Yeah.
And if every time we push something, it just gets on top. And if you just on iOS would swipe from left to right to remove it, we would still have underneath our other route.
Yeah. Actually, we want to replace the current active screen.
And fortunately, there is something called push replacement. So if I
Sounds
hit
fine.
save again, and now navigate from our welcome to the login, and now I press back, it will leave the app
closes.
because this is our current screen page then.
We basically got to the last element in the stack, and after you pop that, it will leave the app.
Yeah, exactly. So, but still here, something here is still unclear. I think now this pushing of the replacement and this material page route is okay, but what does the builder actually do? So,
yes.
So in here, you can always see this context thing. And by the way, what is a context? So we already used the context here, and every build method has a context as a parameter. So what is the build context?
Actually, it's access to the parent. So in the background, you have your element stack, and you get access to the parent element.
You mean the tree, right?
Yeah.
It's a tree, yeah.
Yeah, it's not a stack, it's a tree. And you can access multiple levels of parents.
So actually, if we do the same thing here, like what we did here with the auth, we just walk up the tree of widgets because everything is like wrapped in more and more and more widgets, and then it gets deeper and deeper. And basically, we use this context to get like the nearest elements, or to just know where stuff gets inserted, gets built into or injected into our tree, into our widget tree, or into the app. Yeah. So this is why,
for example, if the parent changes the theming, the context here would be refreshed, and we could get the current theme from that context and style our widget differently.
Yeah, and so even like as if our homepage would have like a parameter which would be the theme, which is not like necessary because we could just like also call theme or navigator.auth in our homepage itself and then walk up. But if you want to give it like as a parameter for whatever reason, we could also just use the context here to just like use this and pass over like a parameter directly. So yeah, that's it, right? So we have our main or our login page, and we land here. But one thing is still, I don't like it. Right now, I think also I broke our hot reload because I think I go back into the app. Maybe it works. Let me see. Oh, we are still
at the... This is also interesting.
And
when you create the app, the embedded .vm has already...
What is a VM?
Oh, I shouldn't name that.
Yeah.
Basically, the app is compiled the way it is at the moment you're compiling it on your laptop. And if you're using hot reload, this is only some transient state, and it will be removed if you restart the app.
It's like a RAM in your computer. So if you write stuff in there and you shut off the computer, everything gets lost, which is not written on the hard drive. If it's like, I think it's a very good like comparison.
Yeah.
So if you do hot reload, then like the code which was not there in the app is just like pushed over onto the device. Exactly, and then used from there. So if you close the app, everything of this pushed over code is gone, and we basically get the first not the state, but the state of the app of
compiled thing.
Exactly. So I just going to quit that, and I do a recompilation, and
basically it's restarting the app, and now it's also compiling again the app, and this means whenever we kill the app, it's in this state we are currently compiling.
So we just wait a few seconds, and it's killed, and the newly built app is pushed over, and we are again at our
and you can press it again,
and I can press it, and it should open up our boom. Hey Frederick, but now why is the toolbar missing and stuff?
We haven't set it in the scaffold.
Correct. So actually, we are returning our scaffold here, and we didn't set an app bar. So this is why it got lost. If you were thinking about, okay, why isn't there a toolbar anymore? It's weird. I don't know. So let's just set an app bar here, an app bar again, with a title, and we just give it text, and we call it
homepage.
Homepage. Welcome.
Home, just home.
Welcome. Home. We just call it home
campus.
For now. We had campus before.
Oh, okay.
But maybe we just call this one home. Actually, I just hot reload and refresh it. Boom, we have home. And as you've seen, it also pushed down like the center. So it's actually just using the body size.
The scaffold.
This is amazing. I love it. And here, what did I wanted to change here the name. So we just call it login. Is it cool?
Yeah.
Login, and we would have the login. Just hot reload, save it. If we go back now,
everything is gone.
It will be gone because our app will be closed.
Because we replaced the route. And
Even if I open it up again, it still says campus because it was lost. So I have to cancel this. Hot reload only works if the app is running all the time, because there's also like a server in the background and exchanging everything. But this is also stuff for a later session. And yeah, let's build this again. And we should have our app again. It's amazing. Look at that. We have the login. We have login. It says login here. We hit login. We have home, and it says, "Hey, Frederick." That's cool.
And I think that's fine for today.
Yeah, definitely. So I hope you enjoyed the first lesson, and we're going to publish the next one soon. The next one will actually implement the sign-in. A real login, a sign-in, and we will do this also with Firebase. So then you can even have your app scaling to millions of users instantly. I think it's pretty cool. And yeah, then also we will take care of the styling and theming. Right now, we were just like explaining a lot of things, and I hope it wasn't like too lengthy for us. If you have any suggestions or feedback, please feel free. Yeah, feel free to leave us a comment down below, or send us an email at hey@flutter.school, or ping us on Twitter or whatever. Yeah, and I think we're looking forward to our next episode where we will integrate the sign-in and stuff.
Thank you for watching.
Thank you so much. Have a good time. Bye-bye.